In this video, I will show you two different methods on how to create a list using bash scripts. So let's get started. First, I will start with the method 1, where I will show you how to generate lists using loops. Now there are two kinds of loops, for loop and while loop. In method 1, I will show you two different cases, one using a for loop, another using while loop. So let's see how it works. First, in method 1, case 1, I will show you how to generate a list using for loop. So let's see how it works. For this case, I have already created a script named listfiles.sh. Let me explain the code now. I have written the shebang line in the first line. Then I have written a commented statement which states listing all files which have the name employee in it. Then the next line starts with the keyword for, implying that it is a for loop, which states for a in $. Then I have written ls employee asterisk. Here a is the loop variable or the iterator, which will iterate through all the files in my current directory having the name employee in it. It should start with employee and can have any word after it, which is denoted by the star or asterisk. Then inside the for loop, it will do this command, which is it will display the information of it, as I have written ls-l in it, and inside it I have mentioned the loop iterator. Then there is a keyword which is done. After all the iteration is complete, then the loop will be terminated, which is done by this keyword. Now it's time to execute the code. Before executing the code, you must provide the executive permission using the chmod command. To do so, run the following command. The executive permission has been provided. Now it is time to execute the script, listfiles.sh. I will use the / notation. And there you go. It lists all the files in my current directory, which is my home directory, which starts with the name employee. As you can see, the first file is employee data, and followingly, the next file starts with the name employee. In this way, we can generate a list of files in bash. Now I will show you the second case of the first method, which is generating a list of numbers using while loop. Now let's see the structure of while loop and how it works. For this case, I have already created a script named listnumbers.sh. Now I'll explain the code. At the start, I have written the shebang line. Next, I have written a commented statement which states it will take a user prompt, which will take an integer number as the number of iterations, meaning how many times the loop will iterate. Next, I have written a read statement which will read a user prompt, enter the number of iterations from the user. Then I have used a counter variable named I and defined it with the value 1, which will be my initial counter value. It is the best practice to start the counter variable with 1, so you can have better counting. Then I have written a commented line which states the loop starts. Next, I have written the keyword while, meaning the start of while loop. Then the basic syntax of while loop is like this. While, then you have to mention the condition, how many times the iteration will work. Here I have used the variable $ using $i, and the condition is the loop will iterate until the value of I is less than or equals to the total iterations provided by the user. Here -le stands for less than or equals. Inside the while loop, over here, I will just print the value of my current counter value, as I have done so using the echo statement where I have printed my counter variable. Following this line, I will increment the counter value by 1, which will increment 1 each time after printing, and then at the last it will exceed my total iterations value, and then the loop will terminate. Now it's time to see the code. So let's see how the output works. Now I will execute the script listnumbers.sh, but before that I will provide the executive permission. Now I will execute the script using / notation. It says to provide the number of iterations. I will give the value 7. So let's see if the output is from 1 to 7 or not. As you can see, the value starts with 1, which I have set my I variable, counter variable, defined with 1 initially, then it increments by 1 each time until the last value is 7. After it has reached 8, my loop stops. So this is how the while loop works. And in this way, you can generate a list of numbers using while loop. Now I will talk about the second method, where I will show you to generate a list of the name of months using arrays. So let's see the concept of arrays and how to generate a list using arrays. In the second method, now I will talk about arrays and how to create a list using them. So I have created a script named listmonths.sh. Now let me explain the code first. Here I have written the shebang line at first. Then I have mentioned a comment where it states declare an array of month names. Here I have defined an array which is defined by this name months, and the syntax of defining an array is using parentheses, and inside the parentheses you write the elements. These specific words are each element of an array. Here are 12 elements, as I have written 12 different months from January to December. In the next line, I have written another comment which states it will print the list of months. Then I have written a echo command which will print the list of months, and I have called the array using $, and it will call all the elements serially one by one as it is written, which is done by this character, and this square bracket is used for array indexing. Now let's see how the code output works. Before executing the script, I have to provide the executive permission. So let's do it. Now it's time to execute the script. As you can see, it prints in this way the list of months, which is my first echo command statement. Then it lists the 12 months in serial manner. So in this way, you can use arrays to generate a list. So that was all for today. If you want to know further, please refer to the article provided in the video description below. Thank you for watching.